The next thing we want to do is we want to use One Search. This is a very easy search box and search engine that's on the library homepage. It searches about 90% of the library's resources. That's its pluses. The minuses are that it's not as sophisticated a tool for refining your resources. It's somewhat like Google in that you get lots and lots and lots of results, and it's just a little bit harder to accurately or to precisely refine them. But we're going to try the search that was in the Getting Started page, and that is student debt, and, if you remember, and should be all caps, wealth inequality. And we're going to search everything. We're also going to sign in because that will give us more tools and access to more materials. You sign in using your Beach ID and your password. And here we see we got 47,507 results. So we have, however, we haven't used all of the terms that we might use for debt, student debt. It might be, authors may have written about student loans. So I'm going to put in student loans. And because we have it all in one search box here, I'm going to put parentheses around the concept of student debt or student loans and wealth inequality. So we're saying for this concept, we'll take either of these terms, and then we want it matched with wealth inequality. So this should increase our number of results. And it did. It increased it to 64,000. So that means it was good that we added that, because there's a lot of articles or books about student loans and wealth inequality that we would have been missing. Now, one of the ways that we can limit our research or filter it is we're going to put quotation marks around wealth inequality, because that's a fairly good established term. And we're going to okay, so I don't know quite why. Okay, so that lowered it from 64,000 down to 4,500. That seems like a big reduction, but that means that many of them did not have that phrase, wealth inequality. The next thing that we're going to do to filter our results is we're going to go over here to the left to the various filters. And the first thing I suggest you do is you look at the date. We probably don't need things back to 1930, so I'm going to change this to 2000, the last 20 years. Sometimes your professors will ask you to have research within a certain period of time. That knocked out a little bit, but not too much. You might want to take a look at books, because books and book chapters can be very useful to get an overview of a topic. So I'm going to look at book chapters. Wealth inequality in the United States, student debt effects on financial well-being, comparing trends in personal wealth inequality around the world. There's quite a bit here on wealth inequality, and presumably student debt or student loans is mentioned in that. I'm going to take the filter of book chapters off. And next I'm going to look for scholarly peer-reviewed journal articles. And that reduces it to 1,229 articles. Okay, so here, full text available. If you click on that, it's going to tell you where the full text is within the library system. It's in a database called Project Muse. You can also get an APA citation. You know, it's a computer-generated citation, so you have to be very careful about things like capitalization. And as you can see here, this is not accurate, but it's at least something to start with. You can also email it to yourself, print it. Highly recommend that you email it to yourself so you don't lose a copy of the article. So this is the basic way that you use One Search. And as I said, there is a video on the 226 research guide that will go into a little bit more detail.